I just saw the shirt. That is awesome. How long have you had that shirt?
I just got it. Like a few weeks ago. I just haven't had a chance to wear it on stream yet. So
that is amazing. That is an amazing shirt.
It's fun.
Oh, I really, really like it. So what's your color? Green? Just straight up old school green?
I like the blue. Although okay. I forgot there was two blues when I got this shirt. This blue is hope.
Yep.
I forget what this other blue is. I mean, technically, if we go by scripture, it's faith, hope, and love, and the greatest belief is love, right? So, doesn't that make us all pink lanterns?
Get out of here!
Doesn't that mean all Christians are star sapphires? It's in scripture. What do you want from me?
No, I didn't. I'm on your team. I'm on your side with this one. This week on the Roundtable, my heart's going to get broken. More on that later. Typically when we count down an episode, by the way, welcome to the Roundtable. Typically when we count down an episode, I put my hands up to the camera like this and I go 5, 4, 3, 2. Not because Templar and I need to be counted down because it's only us on the recording, but because I like to, when I see this in the editing software, I know that I can start here because typically we talk and then we don't break long enough and yada, yada, yada. I started today's countdown at 5 with 4 fingers up. And I don't know what happened. I think I might have just had a brain fart. I was up a little too late watching the U.S. get absolutely obliterated by Belgium last night.
Yes.
That was
all that controversy just to lose 4-1.
That was poor, man. We should probably do like a World Cup recap at some point because like I need to cry my tears. This has been a really good World Cup. It really has. And then controversy started because of two guys, really, Donald Trump and Gianni Infantino. And I don't know. How did you feel when Canada bit the bullet? Did you feel it in your gut?
Meh. I don't know. Whatever. I wasn't that invested. Good for them. They hadn't made it out of the group before. There was a lot of firsts. So I think had they not even scored a goal at the World Cup before?
That's true.
Maybe they did that last time.
That's true.
But, they got out of the group stage, beat South Africa, and then got obliterated by Morocco. So
sure did.
I don't know.
Sure did.
Hey, good for them. They won an elimination game. That's more than Germany can say.
Get it, boy. Get it. Let's go. Knocking your heritage over.
I know. It was tough. That one was tough. Germany losing to Paraguay when they had a goal to go up and it got disallowed, and then to lose on penalties. I stand by my take that the penalties should not decide World Cup elimination games. How would you do it, though? Just play until someone dies, I guess. I don't know.
That's how they used to do it. And games were like 4 hours long and nobody could run at the end of it.
Just play until someone scores. Yeah, I don't know. Like penalties are terrible and penalties are terrible in soccer. Penalty shootouts in hockey are great. Penalty shootouts in soccer are terrible. So obviously Germany losing on one is probably influencing some of my take here, but I've had this opinion for a while. I just think they're bad, and if you can strike the ball well, the keeper can't even defend it. I just don't think it's interesting. Yeah, it's equal, so it's not like it was unfair to Germany or something. I just think it's a bad way to decide an important game. So.
There are many that share your are of a similar disposition to you. Excuse me. There are also others that have fought for years to get penalties actually included. So, tomato. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about another loss. And in our best action movies of all time bracket, we took a week off. Templar was on a well-deserved, much-needed break with his wife. We're going to talk about that in our next episode. So stay tuned for that when we talk about Mistborn Era 1. But we are back. We are discussing the Elite 8 in our bracket, and there were some pretty tense matchups in here, if I remember from a week and a half ago. There were some that I felt very strongly about. One in particular, I think I'm probably going to get my heart broken just knowing what I know about our community. Templar, you put all these together. Any last words before we dip into the results?
I don't think so. I was a little surprised at how one-sided some of the matchups ended up being. I thought they would have been a little closer, given how much I respect all these different movies anyway. So,
that might be a spoiler.
I don't want to say too much. So, yeah, we should just get into it.
Well, here we go. We are going to get into it. And the Lux greatest action movie of all time, Elite 8 results, starting with Inception versus the Bourne Identity. And wow, congratulations, Jason Bourne. Why are you up there, Templar? Why is your camera?
You're just showing off the shirt. You just wanted to
wanted to see the shirt.
You wanted to highlight the lantern shirt.
There we go. Congratulations, you're back. That was fun. That was a fun little blooper there. Yeah, the Bourne Identity, absolutely giving it to Inception, 22-14. That's big. Is this the one that you thought was going to be like, or are there more? There's more on the way. Let's skip over my comment there and let me go to you from the field, Templar 10. How do you feel about this one?
We talked about Inception in multiple rounds. That it's a bit of an interesting one because it was number one because we seeded this by IMDb, not by IMDb rating, not through our own seeding of them.
Yep.
So, but I mean, with that being said, it made it. I mean, I guess being number one, it had easier matchups, but for a movie that's arguable is an action movie in terms of, at least in terms of the mainly how you would classify it. It did quite well.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just a matter of time. We've talked about it on previous episodes that eventually was going to run into something that's more of a traditional action movie. And Bourne actually kind of isn't that, but it is more action focused than Inception is. So cool. I'm happy to see Bourne Identity making it this deep into the bracket. I mean, that's pretty neat. I would not have called that.
No.
Early in it, that the Bourne Identity would still be here going into the semifinals, right? So I mean that's pretty cool. I don't think it'll make it out of the semifinals, but I think it's awesome that it made it. And yeah, I can't be too mad about this. Again, Inception is a great movie. I love it, but it's a lot of things before it's an action movie.
It is a lot of things before it's an action movie. That should be the title of The Odyssey, apparently. It's a lot of things before it is an action movie.
No.
I'm going to get my shots in, whatever. Apparently, it's not, like, there are people saying that it's not as depressing as Oppenheimer. So I think that's good. That's a good read on it. Yeah. Okay, congratulations to Jason Bourne and your punches and your kicks. The Matrix versus Die Hard. Wow. That's interesting to me. That has to be like a age of our community, right?
I would think so. This is one I was referring to when I was saying is a little more one-sided than I would have expected. I would have expected this to be closer. I did kind of expect the Matrix to win. We saw how well it did in our franchise bracket, and obviously there's a lot of love in our community. I think it's 1998. Yeah, for good reason. Yeah, for sure. Coming out in 1998, right? I think it's
99. Yeah.
99. It's a better era probably for our community. Die Hard is 80s. It probably just, there's not enough people who have seen it or have the same affinity for it that we do. So, and that, with that being said, I voted for the Matrix here. So like, I can't really rail against it because I voted for the Matrix in this one, but this was it was a tough decision for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Keanu, making it through. At least one of the Keanu movies made it through. John Wick obviously went down hard. Speed
well
went down
represented
hard.
On our bracket. Point Break, well represented on our bracket. That's right.
Point Break. I forgot about that. It feels like forever ago. T2 Judgment Day versus Aliens. Let's go T2. This is huge though. 84% to 16%. That's big. Too
one-sided in my opinion.
I agree.
This just tells me more people need to watch Aliens. I'm not mad that T2 won. T2 is awesome. Incredible movie. We've talked at length about all of these movies at this point. So see previous episodes where you can hear us basically gush about all of these movies at this point that are still in here.
Yep.
But Aliens doesn't deserve to get beat 84-16. I'm sorry. Aliens is an awesome movie.
Yes.
I understand T2 winning, but if you haven't seen Aliens, please go see Aliens because it's great. You don't need to watch the first one; it doesn't even matter. Just watch. You can just watch Aliens; it's fine.
This is Belgium versus the U.S. We didn't deserve to get 4-1 right here. Pouring one out. Last but certainly not least, Gladiator versus Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Raiders pulled it out over Gladiator. Wow, this is surprising to me, man. I mean, I voted for Raiders, but this is very surprising.
Yeah, it is. I think Gladiator again suffered from a little bit of the category. It's a lot of things. It's an epic. It's a sword and sandal movie. It's all this stuff, political, like in a lot of political intrigue and all this other stuff, in addition to some great action. So I'm not mad at Raiders winning. I think I did vote Gladiator here, but I just have a soft spot for it. And it's a great movie, so I'm not gonna, it doesn't need to be defended, but Raiders is awesome. We've talked at length about the stunts and the action. So,
when you say sword and sandal, what do you mean by that? You were the first person that I've ever heard say that.
Oh, really? Okay, you haven't heard that term. Yeah, no, that's a term I've heard fairly commonly. The sword and sandal epics. So, just sort of a class of movies that doesn't really get made as much anymore. So your Ben-Hurs, your Gladiator, something like Troy would be a sword and sandal.
The Odyssey?
The Odyssey, in theory would be, Alexander, any kind of like ancient, typically like those kind of ancient, big scale.
Gotcha. Roman, Greco, movie. Persian.
Yeah, Roman, Greece, Rome. Those are like your kind of sword and sandal movies. And Gladiator was a real return to those, because those had mostly died out, I think. Like there was a lot of those epics in the, the 50s, 60s. And then by the time of the early 2000s or 2000, I think when Gladiator came out, this wasn't really much of a thing anymore. Yeah. So, sword and sandal movies, which, are generally pretty fun. So, rip to Gladiator though, but I can't be mad at it.
Well, how we do things here on the Roundtable, we go through our results and then I live vote on these, and you can follow along in the doodly-doos below. You can vote as well. It's a semifinal. There's only 4 remain standing, which means there's 2 matchups. Our 2 matchups are as follows: The Matrix versus Bourne Identity. This is, for me, an easy one. I don't know for you though. What do you think?
Yeah, it's probably also pretty easy. I mean, I really like the Bourne movies, but I think The Matrix is a pretty easy win here.
I agree.
The Bourne's had a great. This is what I said when I said like it's great that it's interesting that Bourne made it to the semifinals, but I don't think it's going to get out of the semifinals, and I think that's sort of here because The Matrix is an absolute juggernaut, and at this point, I mean, obviously we're very deep in this, but I think has to be the favorite overall, right?
I agree.
I think Matrix, which I need to update the image of because that is Inception. All right, let me fix that. We're just full of bloopers. So we take a week off, and then this is what happens. Although you were here last week with Pastor Druzy, which was cool. You guys did a good job. So I will fix that. But The Matrix is an absolute juggernaut, but I think it's great that Bourne Identity made it this far. I like it a lot. That whole franchise generally I like. Other than the most recent one. So shout out Bourne, but The Matrix moves on.
Yeah, and this is to me going to be a Matrix. Well, this is on its paper, on the surface, T2 versus Raiders is easier than I think some people would think. I think this is going to be a tougher thought process than it would first seem.
Yeah, you think so? I don't know. I think T2 wins probably pretty handily, but maybe I'm underestimating Raiders. I don't know. But my thought would be it would be T2. T2's been another juggernaut kind of throughout this whole thing. But yeah, that'd be cool if Raiders won. I mean, that would torpedo a little bit our idea of like the age thing, right? Because Raiders is...
I don't know. I think T2 making it through is also... torpedoing our idea
91.
Of age. Yeah.
T2's what, 91?
Yeah.
Raiders was
88, 86.
80. Okay. Yeah, late 80s. Okay. That's cool. I mean, it's cool to see some... I mean, these are classics for a reason, right? So it's not like they're... I was going to say older movies. They're not like they're from the 30s or something, right? But
yeah.
I'm going to vote T2 here. I
see? See?
Yeah, maybe it's harder than I thought.
Yeah. This is sneaky. Sneaky.
The kid, man. If I don't like the kid, if the kid wasn't as annoying as he is in T2, this would probably be a slam dunk for it. But
don't go no.
I will probably still go T2. I think the action is better. I like Raiders. The stunt work's awesome. It is a bit more old-fashioned in terms of the action in it, I think.
Sure.
At least in terms of the fighting and stuff. Like, the stunts are awesome. But I think for action movies, as this bracket has been defined, I think as we've defined the kind of what we mean when we say action movies, I think T2 is most emblematic of these two. So
I agree. I agree with you, but it's like 51-49 for me. 51 for T2, 49 for Raiders. And I think I'm going to go T2. In fact, I am going to. I just clicked the button and I'm going to hit finish survey. But I'm not going to be mad about either of those winning. I will be mad if
Matrix loses.
Matrix loses. I will be mad because Matrix
don't think there's much risk of that. You think Bourne could maybe pull the upset? I don't know if I see it.
I just never say never. In our community, never say never. That's all I have to say.
That's true. You never know, but I think it's unlikely.
Yeah, I agree. You can vote below as well. And like I said, stay tuned next week. If you haven't subbed to this channel, by the way, make sure you sub so you can get these results live in your notifications or in your blue dot feed on YouTube. But stay tuned. We are going to be talking about Mistborn, the entire Era 1, the first trilogy. Templar has finished it. We're going to rap about that a little bit. And I've got some thoughts. I know Templar has some thoughts. But also make sure to join our Discord community. Templar, what can you tell us about our Discord community while I try to pull up an image of our Discord community and where the bracket voting is actually happening?
Sure. Discord.gg/Lux Digital Church. We're a part of that church community. So it is a genuine church on Discord and on Twitch. So it's a real church. It's not to disparage any kind of Christian communities, but it's a church as well. Chino is one of our pastors over there. We have a lot of things going on, lots of different community kind of discussion. As I said, it is a church, but anyone is welcome. Anyone is welcome to come hang out, to come be a part of what we're doing over there. We have lots of different discussions going on in different community areas. We have our book club in there that we talk about every month. We have spiritual discussion. If you have questions about things, you're unsure, maybe you have questions about the Bible or Christianity or different types of teachings, then you can drop them in there, create a post. Just, general chat, wildness. Well, who knows what's going on in there at any time of day. People are often hanging out in voice calls, just chatting and hanging during the day as well. So it's a great community. It's grown a lot, but it still feels, I think, like family in a lot of ways. And I know that's kind of cliche, but I think we have a community that's really been tied together and really, it's really awesome. So if you're looking for a place, then please go check things out over there. We'd be welcome. You'd be absolutely welcomed, and we'd be happy to have you. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you, and that's fine. But we'd love for you to come check it out.
It's going to be for you. Also, we do have our very own channel just for bracket voting. So you can head over there and click the buttons and have a good time. Like I said, this is the third time I'm saying this. Stay tuned for Mistborn Era 2. And until then, for Templar, I am Chino. We love you. We'll see you later.